Good morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is brought to you in partnership with Arteza. If you guys have been around my channel for a while, you know that I have worked with Arteza many times in the past and continue to, because they have such amazing quality art supplies as well as just really cute items for your homeschool household. So I'm excited to share some new items that I grabbed from them in this video, where I am talking about our traditions in our homeschool. I wore my shirt that says hooray because I really believe in celebrating and creating traditions and memories. I feel like that is one of the most important things in a child's childhood, not even to mention in a homeschool, but just in general. Creating traditions, creating those memories through tradition is just really an invaluable thing, considering that most of what you remember regarding childhood when you're an adult is traditions that you had when you were a child. And most of what we, if you had a good childhood, most of what we recreate as parents goes back to what we did as kids ourselves. So creating tradition in homeschool is really important, I think, and it doesn't have to be these grandiose ideas. It can be very simple and it's very meaningful. So I created a list of 10 of our traditions that we do in our homeschool, and I wanted to share those with you guys because I get asked a lot, do you have any back to school traditions, end of the year traditions? So I figured I would just compile a list for you guys and share it with you. So before I get into sharing all of the traditions in our homeschool, I want to share with you what I got from Arteza. And this actually is one of our traditions in our homeschool, is to do back to school supply shopping. And it's usually not just the basics of pencils, notebooks, and paper, but I like to allow my kids to choose out some fun pens that they might, enjoy taking notes with, or some craft stuff that we're gonna be doing, different projects with. I like to include them on that. That actually is a part of our back to school tradition, is supply shopping, but not just paper and pencils, but like fun things that they're excited to learn with. So from Arteza, I got a box of 3D fabric paint. There are 30 colors in here, non-toxic, permanent, and the color palette is right here. There are so many colors. My oldest daughter loves using these. She paints squishies. I know I've shared that with you guys in the past, and so she loves having these for doing that. But again, this is something that is like exciting for her to get, and it's a way for her to express her creativity. So I'm all on board for that. Now, the next thing I got is this box of 10 magnetic erasers. We use whiteboards a ton, and for whatever reason, I only had 1 or 2 erasers, and that was not going to work. So I got this box of 10 magnetic erasers. That way they will just stay on the whiteboard, and everyone will have one. So we needed these, so I got those. The next thing that I have here is a whiteboard cleaning set. I don't know about you guys, but the whiteboards my kids use, as well as the big whiteboard in our schoolroom, gets very dirty, and even when I clean it with Windex or whatever, still around like the edges, it's just not clean. So I figured I would give this a try. I haven't used it yet, but I'm excited to see how it goes. So it's water-based, chemical and ammonia-free, non-toxic, and so it's very safe to have. And I'm really excited. So in here it has 12 dry erase markers, 2 cleaners, and 1 eraser. It's also really good for chalkboards, which you guys will see I did get a large chalkboard for our schoolroom. So I was really excited about this. Another thing that I want to mention about Arteza that I love is that they are a made in the USA company, and those are harder and harder to find. So I love supporting that aspect of their company. The shipping is also pretty quick. generally speaking. I know they have a few disclaimers regarding shipping right now saying, you know, it can take a little longer, but my stuff arrives very quickly, and it is high quality art supplies, professional grade art supplies for just basic pricing. So I'll have everything that I got linked down in the description box for you guys, and there will probably be a coupon code. So if there's anything that you want, you definitely want to grab it, because the good stuff does go out of stock often. So the next thing that I got is this letterboard set. I got it in gray, and it has a stand. I thought that this would be really fun to put in our schoolroom to display our memory verse. So I'm going to put our memory verse on here, and it'll just be another focal point for them to look at that. And I love that the board was like this cute wooden color. Super excited about that. That was for me. That was a back to school supply option for myself. The next thing that I have here is 54 glitter jars. And again, look at the color palette of this. It's extra fine, non-toxic, easy pour jars, perfect for arts and crafts projects. My kids, like many other kids, love making slime and doing things like that, and so glitter, they've requested it. And also just for craft time in our homeschool, we needed some like glitter to make things sparkle, and so I am really excited about that. Also, I want to mention that on the back of everything that you get from Arteza, there's these little things that you can scan with your phone, and it gives you helpful tips on how to use whatever item it is that you purchased. So that is really nice to have. These were those pens that I talked about. These are the 24 premium gel pens from Arteza. I had these before, but my daughter used literally all of the ink on these. I wanted to get these for her for note taking. When you have a fun pen, it makes everything that much more enjoyable. And the last thing that I got from Arteza is actually pretty gigantic, as you can see here. It is I'm trying to give you guys a good picture of it. It is like it stands up. Let me move back. It stands up, and it's two-sided, and it's got these wooden legs. It is a magnetic chalkboard. It is very large, and it comes with stencils, magnetic letters, and all of this. So I've got some fun ideas of what I'm going to be using this gives you a better look at it, this really nice chalkboard for, but I was super excited to have that. So that is everything that I got from Arteza. You guys can check out everything that I got down in the description box. There will be links and a coupon code for you guys. And getting fun supplies is a part of our back to school tradition in our homeschool. And so this year we got all of our stuff from Arteza. So now I did make the list myself, and then I asked my kids, I said, hey guys, what are some things that you feel are traditions in our homeschool? And it really encouraged my mom heart, because everything that I listed, they mentioned as well. So since it is back to school season, let's start with the back to school homeschool traditions. I do the classic get a new outfit for your first day back to school. They get to pick it out. We go shopping for it. It's just one outfit. I don't buy like a whole season of clothes like most families whose kids go to public school do, but just one new outfit, all their choice to have for the first day of school. And so we do that every single year, and they look forward to that. We also take pictures with the chalkboard. You know, everybody does, but that is a tradition for us, and I love filling out the chalkboard of what their answers are, like what their favorite things are and things like that. So I take their pictures every year for back to school, and then as I mentioned, I include them on the supply shopping, and I get fun stuff. I don't get just pencils and paper like I mentioned. Another back to school homeschool tradition that we have is I allow my kids to pick out some of the books they're going to read for the school year. So we sit around and we kind of look through some options, talk through some options, and I really let them make the choice. Then they're excited that they've got new books. They're excited that they're reading something that they want to be reading. And so that is a part of our back to school tradition. And then on our first day back to school, I generally will make a more elaborate breakfast than I usually would, just to kind of kick off our school year strong, something that they don't ordinarily have, whatever it might be. It's not specific to a food, but I just try to make like a special breakfast for them. So those are kind of our back to school traditions in our homeschool. Now moving on to the next thing that I have realized that I have made a tradition is themed poetry times and seasonal activities. So this is where the line blends between homeschooling and life, because even if you're not a homeschooler, you probably have some traditions with your family of, you know, going to the pumpkin patch during the fall or going to a cider mill, you know, different things that you do. We do all those things, but I incorporate them into our schooling. So, whatever it might be, whatever kind of seasonal thing, I definitely invite that into our homeschool. And so there has been stuff we've done every single year that we have homeschooled, because we can do it during school hours, and you know, we don't have to only go on the weekends when it's all crowded. And the themed poetry times, we do once a month a poetry time, and I always have like a themed for whatever the theme is, whether it's the season or a holiday. Those are generally the things that I stick with. I find food that coordinates with that. And so seasonal things are a very, very easy way to pull tradition into your homeschool, to create those memories with your kids. And usually you'd be doing it anyway, so it's not much extra work, but it does leave a lasting impression. Some other things that I want to just add on to there are visiting places like the orchard. We do a thankful tree the whole month of November. So we do a lot of tradition when it comes to season and holiday. The next tradition we have in our homeschool, this would be number 5 on my list, is that we do holiday parties with our homeschool friends. So a lot of you guys know that I have been in homeschool groups, and we have not been in a homeschool group the last few years. But that doesn't mean that you have to lose tradition of celebrating, you know, a little holiday get together with their friends during school hours is like so exciting for them. And so we usually do back to school, Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, and those are about the 5 that we do. So those little parties and get-togethers are just really fun for the kids, and it doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but they remember those things, and so that has become a tradition in our homeschool. Another tradition we have in our homeschool surrounding the holiday time is we do a Secret Santa with our homeschool friends. So that is really fun for the kids. They usually draw each other's names around Thanksgiving when we do maybe a Friendsgiving get together, and they draw a name and then choose a gift, and it's really fun for them to get to do that, and that is a tradition in our homeschool. Another tradition we have in our homeschool surrounding the holidays, you guys can see, is that we find a different way to serve in our homeschool during the holiday season. So last year we did a lot of service at the Ronald McDonald House. This year, with everything going on in the world, I'm not sure how easy it's going to be for us to serve in those capacities, but I've got some ideas, and you guys should stay tuned because some of it involves you guys. But we always look for ways, service opportunities, and those things kind of are in abundance during the holidays, so we take advantage of that. Number 8, as far as our homeschooling traditions go, is now we're towards the end of the school year. I do a big breakfast. I set out a really fun table for them for the end of the school year. I usually will print a certificate of completion, or my husband and I make a handwritten card and just, you know, let them know how proud we are of them of finishing the school year. You guys can actually go and watch this past year's what we did. And then I usually get them some type of surprise, just because I'm their mom and I'm proud of them and I want to get them a little something to wrap up the homeschool year. So that is a tradition we have. And then the last tradition I am going to share with you guys in our homeschool for this video is that I create a homeschool yearbook for my kids. So I shared this, I think, on Instagram stories and maybe in that video, and I got asked a ton, how do I do it? So I just take pictures with my iPhone all year long. I have a friend and she also homeschools, and she kind of jokes with me that she doesn't need to take any pictures because I take all the pictures, and that's true. I do it though because I really value the memories that are behind the photos. So I take pictures throughout the year, and then I should probably come up with a better organized way of doing this because it does take a really long time. But at the end of the school year, I go through my camera roll and I use chatbooks. And I just create a yearbook, and then we usually look at it and leave it out through the summer, and it's just a nice way to have like something concrete that summarizes that homeschooling year and the different things that we did. So that has become a tradition of ours as well. So I know that none of these traditions were super, you know, out of the box, but I get asked a lot, you know, what are some traditions you have in your homeschool? And so I just wanted to share them with you guys. You know, I could go on and on, but I tried to pick like the most important ones, and all of these things were things that my kids also echoed. So I felt that that was important. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments and I will get back to you. If you need any art supplies, anything for your homeschool, I can't recommend Arteza enough, and I will have all of the links down in the description box so you guys can check them out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video really soon. Bye guys. I can touch your street.